Hi everyone, Mark Savage here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about focusing on negative things. Now, I'm going to actually read you something from, I believe it's This Is Asking It Is Given, don't hold me to the book that it's from, but it's definitely from Abraham Hicks, and I'll read it to you and I'll put it up on the screen as well. So it says, Jerry asks Abraham, so how can we give our attention to or have a thought about something that's negative and not have a negative emotional response to it? And Abraham responded, you cannot, and we would not suggest that you try. In other words, to say never have negative emotion would be the same as saying do not have a guidance system. Pay no attention to your emotional guidance system, and that is the opposite of what we are saying. We want you to be aware of your emotions and then guide your thoughts until you feel relief. As you are focused upon a little negative thought, you will feel a little unwanted negative emotion. And if you are sensitive to the way you feel and want to feel even better, you will change the thought. It is easy to change it when it is small. It's easy to change it when it's a small thought and a small emotion. It is much harder to change when it is a big thought and therefore a big emotion. The emotion will be proportionate in intensity to the amount of thought that you have amassed by the law of attraction. The longer you stay focused upon what you do not want, the greater and more powerful that thought will become. But if you are sensitive to your emotions and you withdraw your attention from the unwanted subject very quickly, you will begin to feel better and you will stop the attraction of this unwanted thing. So here Abraham is explaining that you cannot give your attention to something that you find negative and not have it affect you negatively. It's just not possible. Now, this is one of the primary reasons that when anybody comes to me and wants to talk to me about something that doesn't feel good to them, I will always try to redirect them. Now, I've said this in past videos. I don't know that anything's changed very much. I'm not the best communicator. So I'm very, very direct. So if somebody is saying something that I don't like, I'm going to redirect them by saying, hey, how about that over there? Or whatever it is, right? Because I'm not a fan of allowing somebody to talk about something that doesn't feel good. Now look, if it doesn't feel good to them and they're just talking and complaining about something that bothers them, but it doesn't affect me, it doesn't really matter whether I redirect them, but I'm still going to redirect them because as somebody in your vicinity is feeling negative emotion, there's always a chance that that negative emotion can be attracted to you. In other words, it's not going to. It can't force itself on you. If you're feeling great and someone's feeling cranky, they can't force their negative crankiness onto you. You won't, quote unquote, attract it or almost catch it like a virus or a disease. But if they're feeling negative and you're a little wobbly, you're not really stable in your own vibration, then their negativity can be attracted by you, or you could allow their negative vibration to affect your vibration. And so what I constantly do is either I'm going to walk away from somebody with a negative vibration or talking about something negatively, I'm going to redirect them, or I'll just ignore them. I'll just focus on something else. I'll pick up my phone. I'll go, oh, so what's doing on the phone right now, or whatever it is, right? Because I'm not going to allow somebody to focus me in a negative way. And it's so important because so many people out there want to be able to complain to you. They want to be able to tell you about this problem that they're having, this bad thing that happened to them. And unfortunately, most people feel that you're not a good friend, you're not a good family member, you're not a good person if you won't listen to me and allow me to complain and whine and cry. And it's so ridiculous because all that other person wants is mutuality. See, we as human beings want mutuality. If we feel bad, we want the people around us to feel bad. If we feel good, we want the people around us to feel good. And so when we're feeling this negative emotion, we want somebody to not only listen to what we have to say. We want that person to experience the negative emotion that we're feeling, not because we want to hurt that person, but because we want them to understand how we feel. And if somebody can understand how we feel, then we believe it'll make us feel better. It doesn't work that way. If somebody feels bad and you feel bad and you have that mutuality, you feel almost like you feel better, but you don't. You're just commiserating with somebody in that negative state. And while it can feel better, it can seem like it feels better, you're not going to get yourself out of the negative state by commiserating with this person about whatever it is. And so I typically will focus myself away from anybody who's talking about something negatively, because again, just like that little blurb that I read to you earlier and that I showed you earlier says, you cannot focus on something negative and not feel negative emotion. It doesn't work. It's not possible. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't talk to people about the problems. Look, I'm a dad, and I have a 12-year-old son, Logan, who, look, bottom line is, children at this age are starting to go through different things that are upsetting to them. Logan has had girlfriends. I mean, he's 12 years old. He's already had more girlfriends, I think, than I've had by the time I was like 20, right? But again, so he's had girlfriends, he's had breakups, he had a girl once that he wanted to ask out, turn him down. And these are all upsetting things to him. And so, if he comes to me and he's really, really upset about something, then one of two things are going to happen. I'm not going to ask him what's wrong, per se. I may let him tell me what's bothering him, but I'm going to redirect him very, very quickly. And I'm going to redirect him in one of two ways. I'm either going to redirect him to find better ways of looking at his existing situation, right? So let's use the girl that turned him down, right? So maybe I'll tell him, well, listen, the good news is she gets an opportunity to meet other people before meeting you, or dating you, so that she can get a sense of what she really wants, so that when she starts dating you, she'll have the right person. Okay? Just another way to look at that situation from a different perspective for him. If that's not working, you say, but yeah, and he keeps going on, then I'm going to redirect him. I'm going to say, honey, why don't we talk about something else? Let's talk about something else. Let's focus on video games or something else that'll make you feel good. Or maybe I'll go into his room with him and play some video games with him to try to make him feel good. Or I'll act silly to try to make him feel good. But I will not focus on the thing with the girlfriend, and I will not have long conversations with him about the girlfriend, about the problems, about anything that's going to upset him, because I don't believe in that. And nothing can feel worse to a parent than seeing their child suffer. That's been my experience, at least. So if Logan is crying about a girl, and look, again, he's 12 years old. He's crying about a girl. Big deal, right? But it is to him. And it certainly is to him in that moment. And so I'm going to refocus him, redirect him, do whatever I can to get him to feel better. And if I can't, and he's not willing to work with me, he's not willing to try to make himself feel better, I'm walking away. I'm going to walk away from him. He's on his own. He's got to go figure it out on his own. And that has happened numerous times where he's gotten upset about something or mad or whatever, and he goes storming off, and he storms into the room, and he slams the door shut. And so many parents would chase after him, yell at him for slamming the door, or yell at him for this, or I'll give you something to be upset about, or whatever. I don't do that. I never do that. If he goes and slams the door, I don't say a word. He knows that I don't like it, and he knows he shouldn't do it. But in that moment, there's nothing he can do. He's got a lot of momentum going in that negative direction. And so I allow him to go be angry, right? Remember, I talk about the emotional scale all the time. And you got to work your way up from the bottom to the top of the scale. The bottom of the scale is depression, unworthiness, not weakness, it's something like weakness. I can't think of the right word. But, it's all these words, all these emotions that feel terrible, right? And then if he's angry, well, people don't like it when others are angry, especially if they're yelling at you, right? But here's the thing. He was depressed, and now he's angry. So he's moved up the emotional scale, which means he's feeling better. Now, I don't want to hear him yell at me, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to try to get him to stop yelling and move him back down to a place that doesn't feel good, so I don't have to listen to him yell. I'll send him to his room, let him have his fit in his room, and then he'll get himself together, and he'll come out of his room, he'll be fine. but I won't chase him into his room. I never chase him. I never follow him. If he's not feeling good and he wants to walk away, as far as I'm concerned, that's him telling me, listen, I'm not in a good emotional state right now. I need some time for myself so that I can get myself back to feeling good. And I'll do that when I come out of my room. No reason for me to chase him. Okay? So at the end of the day, regardless of who it is and who I'm talking with, I will not allow people to focus me on problems, especially their problems, on problems or anything that would make me feel less than good. Because I'm not going to focus in a way that feels less than good. As I read to you earlier, you can't focus on something that feels negative and not feel negative. You can't focus on something that you don't like and have it not affect you. It doesn't work that way. It's not possible. So continue working on focusing on things that feel good. Don't let others who feel bad focus you in a way that allows you to feel bad with them, because that's not helpful. Focus on ways to feel good. And in the end, you're going to feel better, your life's going to be better, and everything's just feel so much more alive and vibrant. I want to say thanks for watching. If you like the video, by all means, click the like button. And if you want to subscribe, by all means subscribe. You'll be notified whenever a video comes out. I usually bring videos out every couple of 3 times a week. I think I uploaded one already today. We'll have one coming up tomorrow. So usually, again, it's 2, 3, 4 a week. Notified if you subscribe. And with that, I want to say thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.